holidays, but I'm here tonight. Got a good show for you and have the unfortunate news to deliver to you, although you know it's no surprise. I believe the SEC has lost its grip on college football. I have a long column about it today on Gator Bait, and we'll talk about that. But certainly, it didn't take a genius to look at the results and the postseason, the bowls. I don't measure too much by, but it's been a total collapse, basically. Don't know why. We'll get Shane's view along with we'll be having Steve Russell tonight. Steve will catch us up on a few things about the additions of players. Big bloodletting today in the NFL. Man, Bloody Monday. And then Franz Beard joins us to talk basketball and other stuff right here on the Buddy Martin Show. Tell your friends and neighbors we are coming to you right now. Hop aboard and give us your comments. We'd love to hear from you tonight on the Buddy Martin Show.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye!
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
If you like football, this is a great week. We're going to have some terrific football. We got playoffs coming on Thursday, and we got the NFL galore. Here's a guy who watches a lot of the NFL. I heard his show this morning. He and JC talked about the unbelievable NFL games, and there have been some. And as a matter of fact, I made the comment that maybe some of the people who are upset about what's happening in college switched over and gotten a pretty good taste of what's going on. Although today, Shane, was not a good day to be an NFL coach. A bunch of those guys got fired.
That's what happens when you don't win, buddy.
Yeah, it's I couldn't even count them all. I think I counted 4, maybe 5. I got the list in front of me. But it's Bloody Monday. This traditionally happens, but there's just a bunch of wipeouts, including a few people. Like, I don't know that much about the NFL game. I defer to you on that. Apparently, Stefanski from Cleveland is a very desirable coach and has a bunch of young players, and so he'll be scooped up by somebody. What's your take on all that before we get into the real meat of the things? We talk mostly college football on this show because we don't know much about the NFL.
Well, it's just like college. The coaches that are fired are going to find probably jobs with other organizations within the NFL. It's just they just kind of recycle coaches for the most part. And there'll be a few coordinators that get an opportunity. But the NFL is a crazy business, and Pete Carroll, I want to say he came out of retirement.
Yeah, he did. And only lasted 1 year. 1 year.
So he gets fired. So, not surprised at some of the people that got fired.
Surprise there. Mm-hmm. Did you like the Pete Carroll hire to start with? I didn't think much of it. I thought maybe it was recycling a bit much. I think he's been a great coach. I just didn't think that was the right move for the Raiders. Did you?
I really didn't know. I mean, I don't know who else the Raiders could have hired or was on their list. He's a young coach for his age. He's in good shape.
Yeah, he is.
But this may be it for him.
Yeah. Also, Michael Bidwell fired Jonathan Gannon. I had to look some of these guys up, by the way. Arizona Cardinals. Pete Carroll, we mentioned. Kevin Stefanski, we mentioned the Browns. Raheem Morris from the Falcons. I don't know much about him. Brian Daboll, the Giants. I didn't even know Brian Callahan was the head coach of the Titans, is he?
Well, he got fired multiple weeks ago.
Okay.
But yes, he was the head coach.
Okay,
as some was Brian Daboll got fired a while back.
Yes, I guess so. But there was 4 today then, right? Yeah. Interesting stat on the NFL before we move to some of the interesting things going on with the Gators in the SEC. And I've written a column very critical of the SEC, saying basically they lost their grip on college football. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here's a fascinating note. Since the NFL started keeping receptions in 1933, no team has ever finished a season without an interception until they got to the Jets.
Yeah, I saw that stat as well, and that's pretty remarkable. You play 17 games, nobody picks a ball off.
It really is. You by accident will fall your way, right? Okay, so I don't know how I think I've adopted the Shane Matthews theory about trying to keep up. Shane, when you talk about all the changes in the coaching staffs, the changes in the players, and it's just about impossible to keep up whether you're 88, 58, 28, or whatever. It's a bunch of stuff to keep up with. And I think you just said, well, we'll see what they settle on. When they settle, I'll talk about it. But basically, there were a couple of wrinkles today. Some of these are hard to know which are they're accurate or not. I incorrectly texted you this morning that I heard that Eric Philo had committed to Florida, but it turned out to be an AI story. And although that's probably going to happen, if it hadn't already, he's coming with Buster Faulkner, so we'll talk more about that. But this guy, Harrison Moore, I heard you say today they need some offensive linemen, and they do. They got one here. Apparently, he played center, 0 career sacks allowed, 405 pass blocks snaps. So that's apparently a good thing. Of taking place of Jake Slaughter, which is a big hole. And then there have been other people that are going to come, coaches, whatever. What have you heard that excited you about anything that you put of substance about players?
I'll be honest with you, buddy. I don't follow it. I don't waste any time on it. As I've said multiple times, it's out of your control. People get too enamored with big name type players out there. As I've said multiple times on my program, I don't know how many people in the Gator Nation or that watch college football knew who Mendoza was or Trinidad Chambliss or I mean, these guys are playing to go win a national title Thursday and Friday night. So I don't worry about it. We'll know who our roster is at the end of January, in 2.5 weeks or whatever it is. And then we can start talking about it.
Did you hear about Trinidad Chambliss?
Well, I do know that he is trying to get another year of eligibility.
Apparently, if he gets it, he has another deal.
Yeah, well, he deserves it. He's freaking good, man.
His agent said today, guess what? The going rate is for top quarterbacks in college football. $7 million, he says.
Well,
$7 million.
Sorsby supposedly got $5 million from Texas Tech. So
well,
I don't think anybody's going to pay more than that.
He's trying to get $7 million for it. Obviously, agents like to pump it up. But anyway, all right. So great week for football. All right, let's focus on a few things. There's some good stories. I'm not sure which is a better story, but Miami, Ole Miss, Thursday, 7:30. Friday, Indiana and Oregon at 7:30. Boy, if you can't find a storyline there someplace, you can't find any. And, Miami's a pretty good story with Jason Taylor. Not much of him made, but he's apparently the guy. He's the defensive line coach there and going to be a coordinator. And the guy has really got great chops. And people really love him and think he's got head coaching potential. So, anyway, he's a rising star because that Miami defense, Shane, their front four looks as good as I've seen.
Well, they got two stars, and Bain and Messidor.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, they haven't faced a quarterback, in my opinion, like Trinidad Chambliss either.
Yeah. Now, I know you, with the Ole Miss story, I know you're rooting for them, and I wish you all the best. You have deep roots there. Your parents both went there. Your dad played. Your mom was a cheerleader. I know you're rooting for them with all your heart. You can't help but root for a team that had a bar of coaches, 6 coaches that were supposed to go to LSU, Shane, that didn't go. 6.
Well, they're there. They went back to Baton Rouge after the game.
I know, but there's some that coming back, right?
Well, some of them will come back for a couple of days of practice before they play. Yeah, it's a bizarre situation.
It really is.
It's I think you got to give a lot of credit to the players at Ole Miss, the way they've handled it. Ole Miss has got really good players. Their running back is as good as anybody in America. They got wide receivers as good as anybody in America. Defensively, they're playing better than I anticipated, and we'll see what happens Thursday night, but hopefully they can find a way to win.
All of a sudden, the superstar there is Golding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knew, right? He was in Alabama. They all wanted to blame him for the failure of the program. And he left there. He got criticized so harshly. And now he humbly takes over. It's like everybody said, no, you take it. No, you take it. And he took it. And, boy, he got a great win. Now he is an emerging star on the front. What do you think of him, Shane?
Well, I like Pete. Pete grew up in Louisiana. Played his high school and college football at Delta State University, which is in Cleveland, Mississippi, where I grew up. Has a lot of ties to Ole Miss. I think his wife's a graduate. But he's a player's coach. The players love him. The fans like him. And so far he's 2-0 as a head coach. We can see if he can keep it going.
Well, that's a great story there. I mean, I got to be rooting for Ole Miss here. First of all, the SEC needs something. My gosh, Shane, they're taking a bath. I mean, if you look at their record and they're in postseason and what's going on.
Yeah, I don't really get into that either, buddy, because
you kind of got to. You can't ignore it.
No, I think you can ignore it because a lot of teams aren't playing with their regular roster. The bowl games, I love bowl games, but they aren't the same anymore.
I get it, but then you shouldn't be 4-9.
Well, maybe not, but again, I lose no sleep over it.
For a team that I wrote a piece on tomorrow, if you're scoring at home and you like to talk about dominance, the slogan is it just means more. It doesn't mean crap right now. If it's an SEC team, you can't throw your logo out on the field and expect to go win. There's other competitive teams there. They're paying money. And like Coach Spurrier used to say, those teams have scholarships too.
So who has the best bowl record?
I don't know, but I know the SEC is 4-9.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's probably going to be like the Mountain West or somebody. I've never really cared about that ranking.
Well, I wonder if the fans do. I think it's something worth note. And of course, we've got Friday, Indiana and Oregon. I don't know how you root against Indiana.
I think Indiana's going to win. I think they got the better players. I think they're well coached. I think the quarterback's outstanding. They're physical. I think Indiana won the game.
I mean, my guys, they dominated. I mean, there's a whole bunch of shame going on in Tuscaloosa right now. We did what? We got hammered by who? And Indiana we're talking about. And
they're dominating a lot of people the last
I realize that, but it's a bitter pill to swallow for the Alabama fans to lose by 30-something points to a team like Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. Before we're going to bring on Steve Russell, too, to give us a few thoughts. But let's talk about the pro games. I mean, I know I heard you and JC talking about the games this morning, about the high level of play and what's going on there, the teams you like. You got Rams and Panthers coming on at 4:30 on Saturday. Then that night you got the Packers and the Bears, right?
I think so. I don't have it in front of me.
I got it in front of me. Rams and Panthers, I think that's right. Maybe it's the Packers and Bears at 4:30. Anyway, both those games on Saturday. Sunday, the Bills and the Jaguars are the underdogs. How do you figure that? They're a hot team playing at home and they're underdogs? They shouldn't be the underdogs, should they?
Yeah, you got Josh Allen rolling into town. That's why.
I guess. 49ers and Eagles, who you got there?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with an upset. I don't know if it'll be an upset. I'll take the Niners.
Well, the Eagles are playing awfully good on defense.
Although
Chargers
they
and the
lost
Patriots.
yesterday, buddy.
Yeah, they were playing good on defense, weren't they? 49ers got who? Who they
You
got
just
this
told me you're
weekend?
playing the Eagles.
No, I'm sure. I got that's a bad schedule. All right, it's last week's schedule. All right, so who do you got the rest of the way in the teams? Who do you got? You like how about Pittsburgh dodging a bullet? Oh my gosh, that's a game they should have lost, and missed the field goal, right, and the extra point, Shane.
Yeah, it happens. I do not like the Steelers moving forward. I don't know who they play.
Yeah,
I think they play the Texans. Texans are playing good
Texans
football.
and the Steelers. I think it is Monday
Yeah,
night. I believe.
I like the Texans in that game.
Yeah, and the Chargers play the Patriots. Is that correct?
Sounds right. Yeah, I like the Patriots and Drake May.
But you told me you thought the Chargers might be the best team in the NFL at one point.
No, Rams.
Oh, Rams. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, there's so much to keep up with. I can't even get the games right. I don't know who's playing who. But let's bring this guy in. He knows a little bit, and we'll talk about this. I'll get his take on what he thinks about whether or not the bowl games matter and the SEC loses its grip. And what do you think, Steve Russell?
I think the SEC did take a hit. No question. And it's because of what you said. If you're going to say the SEC means more and you go 4-9, well, that doesn't add up. No. I'm not great at math, but that doesn't add up. Now, to Shane's point, bowl games now are not what they used to be because of who doesn't participate, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's different now. You know, in the old days, you didn't opt out. Your team played. Well, now your team may be a shell of what it was when you were in a bowl game because players don't want to play or they opt out or whatever. So, yes, the SEC took a hit, but with an asterisk because, you know, guys can opt out now, and it doesn't. Bowl games are not what they used to be.
And now, remember, the postseason also includes the playoffs. Now, two SEC teams play each other, obviously. But it's not going similarly well for the SEC either in the playoffs or in the bowl games. And it looks like they're trending towards something else. And did you watch any of the NFL over the weekend, Steve?
I did. And it was interesting to me. New England fascinates me because one guy apparently comes in as the head coach and turns that whole thing around. And you know, Drake May has proven to be really good, but this is another Patriots team. You know, when the great Belichick was coaching those teams, Tom Brady, right? But how many guys are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame from the Patriots? Think about it. Not a lot.
No, really?
Right? And
I mean, from the Patriots, well, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, there aren't. I mean, Randy Moss, but he didn't play with the Patriots that long.
Yeah.
So how
Brady.
did they win? They had Tom Brady, and Belichick is a really good coach. Well, again, I don't know how many great players the Patriots have, but they got a great quarterback and a head coach that knows what he's doing. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It does. I'll ask you, Shane, I asked you earlier, I got the schedule straight. Saturday, you got the Rams and the Panthers at 3:30 in that game. Guys, who do you like there, Steve and Shane?
Rams.
I love the Rams.
Okay. Panthers are a mysterious team. How they came up, they just come out of nowhere, you know?
Well, they have a losing record.
Yeah. And think about it. The Panthers have a losing record. They win the division. They're hosting a playoff game with a losing record.
Yeah.
The Falcons dude has the exact same record and gets fired.
Yeah. Yeah, Shane. And also the Packers and Bears play again. I heard him talking yesterday, Shane, about how you don't show everything. You know, not trying to show each other. You know, they go save your stuff. And, of course, we know that they held out a bunch of players last time around. So Packers and Bears, Saturday night. What do you think, Shane?
Well, I think the Packers held out because they didn't play a lot of guys, but the Bears, if the Bears had won,
they played this week.
They played their normal guys yesterday and lost.
Packers held out a bunch.
Man, with Micah Parsons being out, that really hurts their defense.
Yeah.
Where's the game? In Green Bay or in Chicago?
Chicago, I think.
Yeah, Chicago. By the way, I was correct about the 49ers and Eagles in the wild card game.
Yeah, I like both of these play callers. They're both the head coaches.
Yeah.
I'll just, with Micah Parsons being in Chicago, I'll take the Bears.
Okay, Steve.
Me too. And did you see, Shane, that when the Bears played last week, their head coach, who I love, ripped the offense and said, we weren't prepared. We weren't ready. That's not going to happen again. I think he gets their attention.
I think that guy's a heck of a coach.
I think he gets their attention. I think the Bears win.
Yeah. Going through the rest of it, guys, help me out. 49ers do play the Eagles Sunday. Shane, and I still think Eagles got a really good defense. And we'll see if Shanahan can get it all together, get his players playing well, and there's a bunch of guys hurt. I like the Eagles here a little bit.
I'm going to take the 49ers due to Shanahan.
Yeah.
I just think the Eagles, they are good on defense. They got great skill guys, but whoever's calling their plays this year, they've struggled at times offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the better play caller.
Steve?
I like the Eagles. The Niners have been really good till this past week, and they did not look good at all.
Well, they're missing Ricky Pearsall, a bunch of other players too, right?
Yes. So they got to go to Philly, and until somebody knocks off Philly there, I'm gonna go with them.
Okay. All right. Then we got wild card round. We got the Chargers and Patriots. And by the way, I still say, how in the world can the Jaguars playing as good a football as anybody? Their quarterback's playing out of his mind. How can they be underdog at home to anybody in the playoffs, and they're a 1-point underdog?
Well, like I told you earlier, buddy, it's Josh Allen.
Yep. And I also think there's a little skittishness on the part of people who do this because the Jags are new at this. They haven't been there, right? Buffalo has, and they do have Josh Allen. I agree with you, buddy, that it's a little strange because of the season they've had, but I don't think people are sold yet on Jacksonville until they see what they can do in the playoff game.
I mean, very well be. All right, and finally, Texans and Steelers. And Shane, you said you liked the Texans there?
Yes.
Steve?
I do too. The Texans aren't great on offense, but they're really good on defense.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny? Fire Mike Tomlin 3 or 4 weeks ago. Now, now he's great again.
I'm telling you, he was lucky yesterday.
He was. And isn't it
lucky?
The kicker? Do you see what he said? He said, I knew the second I hit it, I missed it. He knew it right away.
I guess there's a lot of wind, Shane. I heard you talking this morning about the wind.
Well, that's what somebody said. I was asleep, so I just saw the highlight of it.
Yeah, I didn't.
He just kicked it dead right to me.
Yeah, he said he missed it.
Looked like to me kicked it dead right too.
Yeah, he did.
No, maybe he played the wind. That was none, whatever. But apparently so. All right, so guys, let's shift over a second. And I know we don't like to talk about too much about what might be. It's hard to know with the Gators, but they did get the center today, who's got a good sack record from Georgia Tech. There's no doubt that they're going to get the quarterback that they want and the wide receivers they got. Things apparently a Philo deal will go through at some point, but apparently they're doing some last minute, nitpicking on it. Whatever, Georgia Tech, I guess. Is there any reason to think that they want Shane?
No, I think they'll get him.
Yeah. You've been saying that before for all along, and Steve, you believe that too, don't you?
Yes. I think they're going to get him. I think it's a guy they targeted to get, especially after the offensive coordinator hire, which certainly makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the guy they want.
And a whole bunch of other coaches there. The Florida Yellow Gators or whatever you want to call them. But bottom line is, so I don't know. I'm just going to give an overall mindset assessment without knowing anything. And I'm guessing, okay? I'm guessing because I have no hard information. I read things, some very intelligent people follow Shane's show. There's some on Twitter that I know that are pretty legit, and I listen to them. I don't listen to all the noise. But as best I can tell from reading thousands and thousands of things on social media, I don't know what will happen to Jaden Ball. I don't know. I heard you said it's Shane. Don't overpay Shane, you said. And I agree. What's that going to be? Over $2 million? I don't know what it's costing. But he's not in the portal yet. That's a good sign, Steve.
I think Florida's confident he will stay here.
Yeah.
I do. I've heard that from several different sources. I think they think they have a very good shot at keeping him. Now, money talks. Something could happen. If he went, it wouldn't shock me. But if you're asking me, tonight at 9:20, I think Jaden Ball stays. That could change tomorrow at 9:20. But I think he's going to stay.
So I don't know about the portal. We'll see. It's all brand new to us, but they have a lot of players coming in. I don't know if that's. I don't follow that. I guess that's good. They got a lot of players coming in, and they did get the safety from Baylor. Steve, what do you know about him?
Not a whole lot, and it's funny too that you're not getting guys from great schools. Not that Baylor's a bad school, but it isn't an elite school. But part of this whole process, buddy, and Shane, I don't know if you agree with this, but it's evaluate. It doesn't matter necessarily where a guy played. Florida got a guy from James Madison, right? So he may end up being a really great player. But this is where the NFL model comes in, where you have to evaluate talent, figure out the dollars you're going to allocate for that talent, and then how does that player fit into your system? This is the NFL. This is what this is. And Florida, from what I understand, has a list of people that they brought in. They've got the coaching staff meeting with them. As these guys come in, I think they're doing their due diligence. Now we'll see in the end how it ends up.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a football junkie, could you have it much better than this? We don't used to have one signing day. Now we got it all, now they'll be over the second, right? I mean, I don't know what second. Be over on what day?
16th.
16th will be over. Then we got new players, new coaches, new teams, new this. A lot to talk about with a new coach, a lot to talk about with et cetera. And we got some terrific football games this week, both in pro and college. If you like football, there's no reason why this shouldn't be a good week, Shane.
Oh no, it starts Thursday night and goes till Monday night. I mean, there's a lot.
What are you looking for the most? A playoff game?
all of them.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously Thursday nights with Ole Miss playing, I'll definitely be dialed in.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you, Shane, on that one. I think Steve and I are rooting for you on that. That's an Ole Miss, and I'm rooting for Golding. I kind of like the way he said, "Okay, I'll take it. Nobody else wants it," and then he does an amazing job and does a humility put forth.
Let me just say this about Ole Miss. I kind of alluded to it on my show today. I think it's so refreshing that Ole Miss has gotten to where it's gotten to, despite everything that's happened to that program. And look where they are, right? I mean, look, I know my buddy Shane has wanted Lane Kiffin, thought Lane Kiffin was the guy. I'm not saying Lane Kiffin wouldn't have been successful here. I think he would have been, but there's a circus around him. He may do great at LSU, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did. But I just think, given all that's happened, the coaches back and forth, the players, all that, they just go out and play. And they played hard for Golding. That was fun to see. If you had no rooting interest, Shane does, if you had no rooting interest in it, it was cool to watch those kids play despite all the distraction and go out and play as well as they did.
I agree. I think it's such a good story. I mean, look, I know Shane loves Lane Kiffin. I would love to have seen him come here too, but there's a lot of drama attached, and he turns out to be kind of a black hat now. All of a sudden, the Tide, he had the world in his hands 2 weeks ago. Now suddenly people say, yeah, see, I told you, big boy, it wasn't just you doing it at Ole Miss. Look, they did it without you. What does that mean, Shane, to people at Ole Miss who now see it wasn't just Lane Kiffin?
Well, no, I mean, obviously Lane's got a really good staff. I've had people tell me for years his staff was out saying, look, I agree with what Steve said. I think Lane's a heck of a coach, but there's a lot of mess that comes along with it. But what the thing I love about just Ole Miss is the players, the way that they're going through a lot. I mean, their coaches aren't there all the time. They're going back and forth. But just I'm a huge Trinidad Chambliss guy. And I don't know if it's just because of where he's come from. It just goes to show you that there's so many good players across America. They just need a chance. And he's lucky he got a chance to go to Ole Miss, but he went there to be a backup.
Yeah.
Because he's only 5'10", maybe they may have him listed at 6 foot.
Yeah.
But I walked by him when we were there. He ain't real tall, but his story is just remarkable, and he is so fundamentally sound. It is ridiculous, and his release and his feet. I love watching him play.
I haven't heard you rave about a quarterback like this in a long time.
Well, I think he should have been the player of the year in the conference because, I think he missed 3 games. I think he only started 9. And the numbers he put up were phenomenal. But we'll see what he does against Miami. He's going to be running for his life quite a bit with that pass rush. But he's athletic enough to make those guys miss and make plays.
I'm going to tell you why it's hard to root against the quarterback at Indiana. I mean, that guy is amazing. And
well, that's another great story. I mean,
it is.
Nobody in America knew who the hell he was until this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, think of the Pavia, right? Guys like that.
Yeah, Pavia kind of did himself in with that comment about the vote. He really hurt himself.
My point, where he came from, nobody knew who he was.
True,
and all of a sudden he comes out and plays great. And Shane's right. Sometimes you just need a chance, and you don't have to worry about some guy with 4 or 5 stars. Can the guy play? Period.
Well, that's the beauty of so many people now with the transfer portal, and obviously if you get on Twitter, which I do every now and then, some of these fans, I'm like, okay, well, open up your checkbook if you're pissed off that we're not paying for this player. But if you look at Indiana's roster, their 2 running backs are outstanding. They run physical. I think one's from James Madison and one's from Maryland, right? Nobody knows who they are. There's a lot of good players around America. They get in the right situation. They can showcase their skills.
How does a coach like that slip through the cracks all these years at 66, get life rebirth, and find himself that's an amazing story by itself.
It is, but he does have a bit of an advantage in that it's not the SEC. I mean, how many games do you play in that league that really matter?
Yeah, I know it seems like he won a lot of his games against sub 500 teams, but
he also beat
out of Alabama.
Teams too.
Out of Alabama, beat them physically. And I heard his thing today. He said he learned more football in 1 year under Nick Saban than he learned his entire career.
Speaks for itself.
And so he listens, he learns. He's probably the reason he's doing so well at 66, right? Is that he is, he's learning, still learning at 66, and the way he coached. I read a thing where he's just like Spurrier. He never keeps him more than 35 minutes or what he practices, or he gives them time off. He doesn't beat them up in practice. He seems to follow the Spurrier script on that, which maybe is a secret to his success as well, right?
Yeah, Google me. I'm a winner.
Yeah, he's won everywhere he's been. What's impressive to me about, I'm with you, buddy, a little bit. Like, I thought Alabama had a chance to beat them, but after like a quarter, I was like, this game's over. They were faster than Alabama, their team speed.
Yeah.
And they were more physical.
The physical part really surprised me.
Well, that wasn't a great Alabama. I think we all got enamored with the damn helmet with the number on the side, when they run out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But Alabama has not been the same team the last 2 years, even though they may have some bunch of 5 stars. I'm telling you right now, team speed went to Indiana, physicality went to Indiana.
And Alabama couldn't run the ball.
Yeah,
couldn't run the ball all year. That's why I picked Indiana to beat Alabama, because of that, because Alabama limped into that. I mean, they deserve to be there, but they limped into it. They'd not been running the football well. And now, did I think it'd be as lopsided as it was? No, didn't surprise me at all. I thought Indiana would win.
Were they really a running team, though, Shane?
Who?
Alabama.
No, they could. They didn't run the ball all year long.
I know,
JC's an
right.
Alabama grad. He says the worst running game he's seen in the last 15 years.
Mhm.
And I don't know how good their running backs are. They looked slow. Their receivers looked slow to me too.
Yeah.
But
I think
doesn't
he did a
matter.
heck of a coaching job. Getting them to where they got
Yeah, he
with
did.
what our eyes saw as what their players did.
He should be coach of the year, in my opinion. Amazing. So let's talk about specific needs. There's a lot of confidence. I know several other people commenting about, oh, Jaden Ball's coming back. We don't know that, but I don't know what your sources are, Steve. You hear from things from people there in the building. You're around. Shane prefers to wait and see who they get in the building and then talk about them. But this is, since we don't have, well, do have a national signing day, it doesn't really matter like it used to. We don't have a feel for it until they are committed. Does it feel like, Steve, that progress is being made in the portal?
Yes, I think so. But the problem for the average fan and even for us, I mean, if you don't see Baylor play, if you don't watch
Yeah, you
James
don't know who these
Madison
guys
play,
are. Yeah.
and you say, oh, Florida got a guy from Baylor. Okay, great. Let me see some tape on him. Now, obviously, the coaches know who they are because they're after them and they know who they are. But to the average fan, unless you're watching those teams play, you have no idea. So you've got to trust your coaching staff and trust the talent evaluation that general managers are going to start doing now, and the other coaches are going to do. I think the hire of Phil Troutwine is great.
Yeah,
He's A is a good dude.
Yeah.
B, he's a hell of a coach. I think he will. That's an area that I think we all thought was going to be a lot better than it was. I think you'll see market improvement there because of him.
I forgot what a big guy he was. I saw that picture of him and Spurrier. My gosh, Spurrier comes up to his, underneath his chin.
Yes.
Huge guy. And he's got some really good players. I understand they're in the portal now. Penn State lineman, Shane, you said you wanted some. I've seen some of these monster guys that he's recruited at Penn State are going to the portal. What does that tell you?
No, we'll get some of those guys.
Yeah.
I say it on my show every stinking day.
Yeah.
To people. People get too enamored with their team.
Yeah.
Right. And they may watch some other football, but let's just think about some of the people that have contributed to the Gators.
Yeah.
Did anybody think George Gums is going to be worth a damn coming from
didn't know who he was.
How about the kid Osiris Torrance, All-American offensive lineman coming from Louisiana?
He brought him from Louisiana, yeah.
Yeah, so they're good players
Jake
around
Slaughter,
America.
for that matter. Who knew?
Right, but there are a lot of good players, and people. And again, we lose some players to the portal. It's okay. We went 4-8, people. Just let the coaches look. In 2 or 3 years, if we're not winning games, then you can bitch and complain. But if Buster Faulkner, who is the offensive coordinator of the year in America, wants Bailey Stockton to play in the slot, I'm okay with it. Right?
Okay.
Let the coaches coach.
Okay. I know you like him. And
everybody liked him when they hired him.
Yeah.
Because he was the offensive coordinator of the year.
Yeah.
And what they've seen. But now that Buster Faulkner wants player X, player Z, he don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah.
It's almost comical.
We'll get welcome friends in. I want to go around the table once and let Shane go have his milk and cookies, and Steve too. Probably he's got to get up early. But I wanted to say good evening to friends and say we talked about the portal. I would like you all. I know you hate to do this. This is the end of the semester today, and you got to give Summerall a grade on the portal today, and tell me how it's trending. Let's start with Steve. Steve, give me your grade on the portal today.
I would like to say incomplete,
but you can't.
But I can't. Right. So I would say probably a B.
B. Okay.
I mean, is there anybody in the portal that's,
I don't know.
Jaden Ball type?
I
I don't think so. And part of the problem is, again, like we talked about, guys, if you get a player from Baylor or a player from James Madison, if you've not seen that player, then how do you know how good he is? We don't, unless you can see tape on him or go back and look at what he did. So you have to trust the coaching staff that's going to go out and they look at these players, they evaluate these players, and hopefully they see players that are going to fit into the system. But there's not been, some great pickup here with an instantaneously known name.
Right.
No, not yet.
B for C. Russell. Shane, you talked about Philo from day one. You talked about it from the moment when we first started talking about quarterbacks. You brought his name up and you talked about it. You must have liked him a little bit. If they don't get Philo, that would probably not be good. But if they get Philo and whatever, and they've got when they're coming back, what do you give them in the grade in the portal today?
I don't care about the grades. I want quarterbacks to throw completions and know how to run that.
Well, I want you to give me an assessment of their class.
Okay, well, here's my assessment: is Tramel Jones I like a lot.
Okay,
I think Aaron Philo will be a Gator, and those two guys are going to battle out for the starting job. Will Griffin will be in the mix, but they're probably going to redshirt him. I like him a lot too. But again, Trinidad Chambliss. What if we'd signed Trinidad Chambliss last year from Ferris State?
We always say, "You're kidding me? This guy can't play."
Mendoza. I just think these fans get too enamored with.
Well, they're all looking for some kind of silver lining. They just want to know.
They get attached to these people that grade these players at these combines and give them these stars. Again, there are so many people that cannot play. And we're talking about quarterback position, and it still blows my mind how general managers in the National Football League think Justin Fields and Trey Lance can play at that level. They can't. I sat here and watched Trey Lance play yesterday.
He was awful.
The easiest throw in football is the go route. I don't think he came close to completing a go route or even getting it close to the hands of the receiver. So I think people need to trust the coach that was the offensive coordinator of the year. Let's talk about that one more time, that everybody was excited about when he was hired, that he wants somebody to run his offense. And I think Tramel Jones and Aaron Philo will battle it out in the spring and be one of those guys will be the quarterback.
And you're good with that?
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay. Let's give Franz a quick note and let you guys take it. Franz, good evening. And I know you got a lot of thoughts. I see that brain moving there, that hat on. And give us, first of all, your thoughts about to date, how they've done in the portal and how you see it going, and give them a grade. Shane didn't like to give grades, but go ahead. You'll give us a grade.
Well, the hat keeps the thoughts in. It
sure.
keeps them from just escaping off into never land. I would say right now, if you're going to give it a grade, say a B, because you just don't know. They've got 4 or 5 guys in from the portal. Chances are they're going to sign 40 in the portal. We got to remember something. Scholarships go from 85 to 105 this year. So instead of they got, by my count, you got 40 guys that are, with the additions, you probably from the portal today, you probably got 44 guys plus 18 kids who are signed freshmen. That's 62. That means that you've got 43 scholarships that are open. 43. Okay. That means that, to give a grade right now with 5 guys signed and you're going to get another 38, I would say that's just smacks of being a teensy bit early.
Incomplete.
Early, incomplete.
Well, that's the grade that we wanted to give, but we can't do that. Let me say good night to Shane. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Shane. Thank you.
Gentlemen. Have a good night.
See you, Shane.
We've been on the show the whole night. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I think really the grade's incomplete because you don't know. But I mean, I get why fans want to see results right away because of what has happened here recently. But, Shane makes a great point. You either trust the coaches you have or you don't. We'll see what happens. But I think the quarterback position is going to be in pretty good hands.
Mm-hmm. Shane, I mean, Steve, Franz, you feel pretty good about it too.
Oh, I don't have a problem with these guys, who they've gotten so far. In fact, if you want to ask me who the best guy they've gotten in the portal, from my opinion, it's Harrison Moore, who's the center from Georgia Tech.
Just got him today, yeah.
You're talking about a guy that started at tight end last year, moved to center, started 9 games, played injured in 2 others, and missed 2 because of injuries. But a guy who was an all-state tight end in Texas, who's athletic enough and strong enough and physical enough to play center and be a very, very good and effective one. So to me, that's the best guy they've picked up so far. Mm-hmm. I like, the safety from Baylor. I haven't seen him play, but the people at Pro Football Focus think he's might be as hard a hitting safety as there is in the country. Mm-hmm. And Lord knows, how many times have we seen a guy running across the middle over the last 4 years when we thought to ourselves, wouldn't it be nice if Mr. Wright showed up again and sent somebody into next week?
Yeah. All right, let me let Steve go because he's been on here a long time. It's early show, and I'll just throw anybody on your show tomorrow we should know about, Steve.
Some guy named Spurrier tomorrow.
He is with who?
He's fairly famous, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. But he, guys, but he's really into this now, in terms of the changes and where things are going and all of that. I know he really wants to talk about some of the bowl games and some of the games that are coming up. And then Herm
ask
Edwards
him about the SEC thing.
I'm going to ask him about that. And Herm Edwards is going to come on tomorrow too.
Oh, good.
And talk NFL. And then Mark Wise will be there Thursday talking about basketball. And will you indulge me for a second, buddy?
Sure, absolutely. Go right in.
I want to ask the guy with the hat a question here.
Okay. Well, let me do this commercial real quick.
Go ahead.
I got to tell them I got to pay the bills.
I got it.
Especially my friend from Meldon Law, Jeffrey's doing a lot of work for me and working through some things. And I told him today, I said, I love you, Jeffrey. I just love you because he said, well, I think our promotion, giving away the rings went fairly well. Fairly well, probably the greatest basketball promotion in the history of the game. 10,000 people got replica rings. My gosh. Anyway, so Jeffrey just gets a kick out of that. And I tell him all the time, I said, people give you a lot of love on the show. They do because they think he's got a big heart and he puts his money where his mouth is, and he loves the Gators, and he's proven it. And he also practices law just in case you need a lawyer. I do and did. And I got the folks at Meldon Law, as you should do. They got 4 locations to serve you, now 5, one in South Florida. So check them out. Meldon Law, they don't back down. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. Franz has seen a little basketball in his time here, as we all have, right?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Today, on the show, there was a lot of angst from fans because of losing to Missouri.
Yes.
You got Mike White's probably best team, at least to this point, comes in here tomorrow. So my question to you, my friend, is this. I know people are still comparing this team to last year. That's gonna be that way till this year is over. But what is your level of concern when it comes to this team and where it is right now?
They don't have anybody who wants the ball with 5 minutes to go in the game. Last year, they had 3 guys who every one of them wanted the ball.
Yeah.
And were very, very happy to have it and have the green light to take the shot. I see a lot of hesitation when guys, you get toward the end of a shot clock and guys don't know what to do. We've had 2-3 shot clock violations, it seems, every single ball game. And to me, shot clock violations are typically because somebody doesn't want to take a shot. We give a lot of credit to defense, and sometimes it is the result of great defense. But I think at least half the time, shot clock violations are because the defense was pretty good, but the other team didn't have anybody that wanted to take the shot. And in the case of the Gators, the other team is Florida. They don't have a confident shooter. Walter Clayton Jr., triple teamed, who cares? It's going up and it's going in. Walt never took a shot that he didn't think he would make. He just believes so strongly in himself. Elijah Martin, okay, if the shot's there, fine, I'll take it. If not, I'll drive and I'll dunk you and the ball. And Will Richard, my gosh, look at what Will Richard's doing in the NBA. He's starting half the time. He's had a 30-point game already. He's averaging double figures. My gosh, you had maybe as good a guard combination as there has been in college basketball.
No doubt, 3 deep.
Since the great Kentucky team of 96. Probably the best guard combination that there's been. And these guys, I don't doubt Boogie Fland is talented. I don't doubt Xavier Lee is talented. Urban Klavjar, I've watched him shoot. It's a beautiful looking shot when he launches. They don't have a physical defender who can take on a big guard and shut him down. The other night, Jacob Cruz is in there playing guard at 6'8", 220. And we're trying to guard him with a 6'4", 185-pound guy. That doesn't work. Sorry, but it doesn't work. It works if you got a 6'4", 185 that has about a 50-inch vertical maybe. But Jacob Cruz ate our lunch. Got fouled a lot because people fouled him in the act of shooting because he was bigger and stronger. We do not have a big defensive guard. We had 3 of them last year who played really good defense. In fact, you could say that Will Richard and Elijah Martin probably should have made the national all-defensive team, both of them. And Walt doesn't get credit for his defense, but by gosh, he was a good defensive player.
Won the last game.
He's just overshadowed by the fact he made so many big shots. But this is a team that until, my solution, I got the practical solution, Steve.
Okay.
Take the red shirt off A.J. Brown. You're talking about
what a slam dunk he had last night. Wow.
You're talking about a 6'4", 210-pound guy that is physical. I watched him when he was in high school. I mean, I broadcast games when he was playing in high school. And he is 6'4", he's 210, he's physical. He's like his brother, doesn't mind dunking you, but unlike his brother, this boy can flat out shoot. And I think they need somebody that's not afraid to take a shot. And I think this is the guy that can do it.
Well, I think you're going to have to finish up this comment on Steve's show.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I hear what you're saying and don't disagree, but why hasn't that lace been untied?
They're trying to save the red shirt because they're so top heavy. They're going to lose. They're going to lose at least 3 of the 4 big guys. I think Micah will probably come back. I think he needs it, and he's going to get the extra
based on the way he's played. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brown's
got to get his offensive game together.
Brown's got a brother
they're
too,
top
right?
heavy. They're
How
top
about
heavy.
Franz, what about his brother, Brown?
Isaiah can play. Isaiah is not a guy that's going to he's not going to stop a 6'8", 230-pound guard, which you see guys like that. When Tommy Hawk was on Jacob Cruz, Jacob didn't score, but you got to rotate Tommy in up at the high post or else you're wasting talent with him. He's got to play at least a third of his minutes at the high post or running the baseline because he's so skilled there. and just playing him on the perimeter, let him run down to the baseline a little bit and shoot from the corner. That wastes talent with this guy. This guy, you watch how he and Condon work together passing the basketball. They're outstanding together because they know each other so well. But you got to play him there. So who's going to play that wing when Tommy is playing that high post? Somebody's got to play it. Who's going to do it? I think they're going to have to go ahead and burn the red shirt. I think, they've tried to play the Kulichev guy who transferred in for Sacramento State. He's not the answer. He's just not
in a hurry. You were out of time, and I wanted to get this point in. You brought it up tonight. How about playing Thomas up at the point? Tommy off, and let him be a guard and play out there. How about him for a big good defender?
Well, he does play out there a lot.
But you're talking about the problem. They got nobody big at the point. The guard he got there. He certainly will be a good one if they could, but you have to play him out there. So
my point with him though, buddy, is you got to play him a third to half the game. You got to play him as an inside guy.
Yeah,
and that's when they get burned. Typically, Missouri ate them alive last night. And I would say this: Don Daly shouldn't be allowed to call.
We're out of time, so you got 30 seconds.
But I'll say this about it: Florida should have won the ball game. Doesn't matter how bad he was; he was terrible. But they should have still won the ball game. You could say the same thing about Roger Ayers up at Duke. He was terrible. They still should have won the ball game.
All right, Franz Beard, read his book. Listen to Steve and Steve Spurrier tomorrow. Steve, thank you, Steve. Russell, appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Franz. Thank you very much.
See you tomorrow night.
I'll catch up with you tomorrow, Franz, and we'll run the ball game, whatever. And don't forget, check out that book. It's available now for you, and we appreciate so much the things that our friends like Jeffrey Butler have done, buying the books and giving them out to the team. And great job by Franz. All right, Franz, I'm going to go now. I'm going to tell folks about our other sponsor. We got to be sure we get in. And good. Thank you, Franz. All the best to you, buddy. Appreciate it. Titan MRI. I want to tell you about our friends, the sponsors there. They, of course, have several locations to serve you now. Now Titan MRI and Imaging. They have 3 locations, 2 in Gainesville, soon to have 1 in Ocala, Park Avenue in Gainesville, and Millennium Center. Also, Lake City serving all of Columbia County and Valdosta, Georgia. Titan MRI and Imaging offers the same great customer service. They now accept insurance, or you can go through their convenient self-pay options if you like. They offer MRIs, CAT scans, X-rays, and ultrasounds. Easy scheduling with lots of options, including the evenings. That's a really big thing for folks who work and can't get away to go spend a lot of time to get their CAT scan or whatever. They can call them up and tell them I need nights. They'll do it for you. Here's the thing I like the most. If you've ever had any of these kind of things, and I've had a few, the large MRI machines are for your patient comfort. No ERs, no hospitals. Coming soon to Ocala, Titan MRI. It's your choice. Thanks to our sponsors, thanks to Shane, Franz, and Steve for a good show program tonight. Tomorrow night, don't forget we got our friends, Florida Meadows. Coach Meadows will be on here, and then tomorrow morning I'll be on with Shane Matthews. Check out Potted with Matthews on their behalf. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. And boy, I tell you, that Georgia game, I don't even want to think about it if they lose to Georgia. Oh, would that be brutal or what? Yes, it would be. So we'll hope that doesn't happen, because this is not a season when we can afford to feel that pain. It's been enough of that already, right, folks? So you have a good night, and we're back at you here again on Wednesday night. No show Thursday night, by the way. We don't have a show because of the playoffs. So if you're looking for it, you won't find it. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Good night, folks. I'm Buddy Martin.